Welcome back to the channel. This time we have another vehicle-specific repair. In this case, it's Dodge Charger door panels. They all break. So perhaps this would be informative for you too. Interestingly, the only tools that you will need to remove the door panel are a small pick, a Phillips screwdriver, and perhaps just a standard flathead screwdriver to pry the panel away from the door as your last step. So I'm going to show you the contact points I found. For this push retainer clip, you can just push the center in and pull out on the door panel, and the outer part just pops loose. It goes on the ground underneath the car where you'll never find it ever again. And this little rubber bumper is held in place, again with a screw that just requires the Phillips head screwdriver. There is another screw hidden under this plate at the armrest. There is no screw under the control switches, but you will have to disconnect the electrical wires there. One from the main switch itself, and then there is another one down inside. Pay attention to the orientation of this clip so you'll be able to snap it right back in place later. And here, any slim tool will help to get the door started prying loose. At this point, you'll need to wiggle the door panel a little bit and get that weather stripping to slide off of the metal part of the door. The weather stripping comes off with the door panel. There are other connectors down low, and just use your pick to release them, and that's all there is to it. You can also use your flathead screwdriver to compress these clips and remove the weather stripping from the panel. So our goal here is to staple this vinyl in place. Originally, the vinyl and its foam were molded around the ribs in this hard plastic panel. But there actually existed nothing to keep them there, and so then when the vinyl shrunk and warped, it pulled away from the plastic. I find it helpful to put a couple of clamps to relieve the pressure on the area immediately adjacent to where I'm stapling. And then the heat gun just softens up this vinyl. It's a very heavy vinyl and offers a lot of resistance, so why not warm it up a little bit and just make the job easier. Doing these in the shop, I just put on a glove on my left hand, but here I'm not sure how hot this is, so why not use a rag just to make sure you don't burn yourself, right? And so here I'm just working my way down the door panel, maybe 6 inches at a time or so. using the clamps again to relieve some of the pressure. And that way I can put in a number of staples in each section. It's like putting many stitches in. One stitch is not going to hold by itself, but many stitches together will. And so we'll just show repeating this on for the rest of this door panel and the next door panel. Sometimes I like to double up the staples. One row of staples for me is not giving me that much confidence, but I think a couple of rows in there and put them right home with a good bit of air pressure, that makes me feel better about it. Now this next part you might consider optional. I'm going to clean first of all with some acetone. You could black out these staples with some paint. I have done that and it does quite well. The option that I'm going to show you though is in using a 2-part epoxy. Mix it up well and then just put this over the edge there, over top of the staples. That way, when the prospective customer looks at this door panel, they don't see staples. They just see what appears to be vinyl. We'll black it out. Now the epoxy, you don't have to worry about it getting it too smooth initially. But if you have some acetone handy, then, as you know, you can reduce the epoxy with acetone. So smooth it out a little bit. Get a paper towel. Really, really wet with acetone. Really wet. And then just smooth it right on out. If you get some around on the top of the door panel, you can also smooth that. We want to feather that edge up there to make it look as natural as possible when we're finished. You might get a little white residue up there. We'll take care of that in just a little bit. So then we can paint across the top of the epoxy, and we have hopefully the appearance of it being just vinyl and not staples. Here I didn't take a great deal of time. I didn't put the epoxy on necessarily heavy enough to hide the visibility of the staples. But they will all be blacked out anyway. You might see a little dimple here and there for a staple. Optional, of course, as you will. The weather stripping hides most of this area, but I do know that those staples are going to be visible beyond the weather stripping. So this is my preferred treatment. Now you can see there's a little bit of gray residue from the acetone where we cleaned up. That will mostly all clean up. If there's a little slight grayish look down inside the grain, we're going to color that anyway. We're going to take our same color and just doctor up the tops of these door panels to give them a fresh look anyway. So no worries. It won't take much, just a light mist coat. Sometimes I'll even do the armrest just to spruce it up a bit. Same here, I got a little bit messier with this panel. That gray down in there is not thick epoxy, it's just a little bit of residue in the grain. A little color will hide that and we'll move on. I got a little bit of epoxy residue off of my gloves on this panel because I was really hurrying. It's about to rain and the drops are coming, so I'm hurrying along here to get this finished up. The travails of working in the field. Now make sure that you don't put the weather stripping back on the door panel. See this deep channel? That weather stripping goes right over the top of the metal on that door. That channel will slip right over the metal and this end fits right in place. So this has to really be done by itself, and then the door panel will mate up to those other clips and you'll just push them on. That door pull arrangement is pretty easy on this panel. Feed the other wires through. We have to make sure that the locking mechanism comes up through the hole. Then you can look in there. You can see those 4 clips from the weather stripping. Make sure they line up on the top of the door panel and just push them in, and there you go. Make sure the other upholstery clips are in their proper places for the rest of the door, and it'll be a simple installation. Nothing to it, just like puffed wheat. So this was a 2016 Dodge Charger. So any of these, of this vintage that you see, will likely need this work. And as you can tell, it's not too difficult, but you will save the day. I'll leave you with just one more picture. I searched online for some information on whether anoles respond to music. And there's not much published about it, but I can testify that they love classical guitar music. Here I was practicing, and the anole first of all came right up onto the back of my chair, then hopped over to the plant and got to the very top of the plant where it could have the best listening perspective. The following morning I played again, and the male came up and traveled all the way across the deck to listen to the music. So there's a little bit of information for you on anole's response to music.